Greetings and welcome back to Grow Moringa Farms. We are here in Plant City, Florida. We have a beautiful moringa orchard coming in this lovely 2024 summer season. Believe it or not, there are over 50,000 moringa trees on this half-acre plot. We started with a hedgerow up here, and we've got 10,000 moringa seedlings coming up in this row. We've got a double row of moringa trees orchard style. Another 10,000 seedlings coming up, a double row orchard style, 10,000 seedlings coming up, double row orchard style, 10,000 seedlings, double row orchard style, and 10,000 seedlings, which are being watered right now. We're going to go ahead and get them fed here pretty soon also with some Moringa biostimulant. Yesterday I came by and just started trimming these trees up here in this row. But now just want to walk through this row with you together so that way you can see some of the techniques that I'm going to be using to bring these trees back during a time when it's really dry. It's hot and dry, and so we haven't touched these trees in about a month. We did prep work to get these trees branched out like this about a month ago. So, and we didn't even have a frost either, so a lot of these trees are benefiting from this warmer weather that we've had this winter so far. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how exactly I'm able to care for this orchard without irrigation, and some of the final products that you can see here is an open center with a triangular pyramid, upside down pyramid forming inside of each one of the trees. You can see that I have the structure of the trees so that way the centers are completely open. They split low. They all split really low to the ground. They all have really low splits, and that's by design. And that way these trees open up and have a lot more low energy and high winds, because Florida summers are going to happen here pretty soon with hurricanes. So we want to keep the trees low and short. See this? Open in the center, open in the center. And we pull anything out that's coming into the center like this, as I'm going to continue to show you. Just want to show you some of the final results of opening up the centers of each one of these trees yesterday. The next step that I'm going to do to come through to these trees is actually pop all the tops, so that way they begin to even branch out even more. Then when the rains start, these trees will be massive, massive, massive trees. So we're going to be able to take these greens and get them washed up and dried. Right now, we're just going to set them right here. This is our Moringa biostimulant. This is extract made from the moringa leaves, and I spray that on the babies right now, especially since this is a brand new system. This is our first real season of having this intercropping between the rows of an intensive method. So now together, real quickly, thanks for joining us and watching the Grow Moringa YouTube channel and learning how to care and maintain your moringa trees here with me today. I'm Kendrick Henry, your local USA moringa farmer who has a passion for moringa. I love it, and she loves me too. She takes very good care of me, as I've stuck with her over the last 10 years being a moringa farmer. And so now really what I'm doing is I'm just coming in and I'm grabbing anything that's forming in the middle, even just by hand, just grabbing nice greens in here. Because what's happening is, since it hasn't rained yet, it's getting real hot, real dry, real quick. And I don't have any irrigation out here other than being on 2 feet of oak mulch. The first 2 years of this property right here, I just dropped oak mulch from local tree trimming companies. And so now I've been able to get these trees big and form out these really nice open centers. Someone asked me, why? Why do you want open centers? And I said, it's like a pyramid inside. It's forming an upside down pyramid, like a delta, right? And that delta also has cooling energy going down to cool this tree at its core, while the heating energy is rising up out of the center. So it aerates, it cools. It also allows more sunlight to reach the leaves, so that way they don't yellow out as fast. So what this is going to do is help to keep these greens green when the rains begin to come, because the rains are coming. The rains are coming real soon. It's going to be probably a really rainy, hot, stormy summer. The rains usually start coming in June, July, and then August typically is a 30 days of rain kind of month, and we typically start getting hurricanes in August and September, later in the season. But the waters are hot right now in the oceans. They're hotter now than they've ever been, and so we are anticipating a very, very productive storm season. So what I'm doing here is, while at the same time creating more of a channel and a walkway, so that way these trees can be harvested through the middle of these rows. That's why I designed these rows. You can start to see the design pattern happening here, where I've got a big tree, and then it staggers with another big tree, and it staggers with another big tree. But then I'm starting to bring in other pollinators and supplemental plants like Mexican sunflower into the system, bringing them into the system, and then having a moringa tree, and then bringing in other plants, right? So that way these things also start forming areas for pollinators, and also for chop and drop to help keep the weeds back. So that way we don't have to use plastic or ground cover. So we're going to go ahead and cut these trees back in the center. So let's get these trees cut back in the center here together, and continue to just really form these trees. See, like this one right here was already here about 6 months or so ago. This was fresh and green like this. But now that the tree is thicker and bushier and lots of fresh greens are coming in, we're going ahead and getting this wood back to continue to open it up. So these trees are constantly evolving, constantly changing and moving. And so they never really look the same year after year. And this is just helping us to get a little bit of greens as we open up this core. And another method that I'm going to utilize after coming through and opening up the center is actually going to be popping up these tops, all the tops, to really help split it out. I'm also removing anything that's just crowding and not really serving us at this time. Now that the tree is getting bigger and wood is forming, see, like I kept this one before, but now that it's getting real bushy and things are starting to really come in, I don't really like this one because there's other branches out there now that are big enough. And so now I can even pull this one back and take a look here. And also a big part of this care and maintenance is coming down to the base of each one of the trees and removing any of the centers like this that are coming in low, removing any of the weeds, exposing especially the root system, taking off anything that's dead in here like this, that's soft and that bugs might be living in. Let that sunlight get in there, because ants will start to form and live in here, termites, other little pests. But the more that you expose the sun to reach down into the core, less likely you'll have bugs just starting to come up. Even this little one down here, so like this one, I really like the 3. I might even just bring this little sucker off anyways. That really helps to open it up. This one right here is also coming off. This one here, not sure if I really even like these two at all like that, but I do really like this and can make that split. This is just a sucker, vertical, coming up like that. Boom, now that really helps to open this baby up. Continuing up the tree, I'm starting to see like this one here has like 3, 4 coming off of this one. We want to spread them out because it's causing bushiness. So I'm actually going to take this middle one here at an angle, bring it back down to the core. Now that opens this one up to where now there's 2. Then we can pop the top at an angle. And typically I like to go up about 12 to 18 inches from the split. Right now we're really starting to push these trees back down short because they're starting to get tall. And they go through a cycle, you know, where say in the winter, they get really low. And then by now in the spring, they're getting tall and we bring them back a little bit. Then by the summer, they're going to get really tall, but then by the fall, we bring them back a little bit. And in the winter, we really bring them back. And so it's this kind of ebb and flow of the trees to kind of go with the seasons. Like even what I'm seeing here with this tree is that it's really heavy. See, because a lot of these trees just got established in mulch. And so the root systems are very, very soft and moving. As she's getting more developed, see this one here is getting a little bit more stable. And this one's popping at the bottom. I might just go ahead and just pop her right here at an angle. So that way she comes back, she's not as heavy here. And now she's gonna resprout all here with all new stems right here, all summer long. And she'll be just like this by fall. She'll be just like all the others. And I can utilize all those greens. Just wanted to come through here, hit this row with you to just show you really quickly how I'm starting to assess these trees first. After about a month of even kind of walking through here, now these trees are starting to really get big. See, like these suckers down here, they're going to continue to pop suckers, but just keep pushing them back. I've got the 3 main big ones here, which I really love. There's some things that are going out into the aisle, so I am trying to keep the aisle clean. And then there's just multiple suckers coming off of each one of these. And so we can reduce the amount of energy and make this one like really big and take this one off that's low, and just this one will get really big now. You know, like I kind of like this one here and not so much this one here. This one's just kind of going in and crowding this one. So if I take that off, take this off, this one's going to get really nice and big, which I like because those two right there like that. This coming in the middle, we can grab. This one here, you know, I kept last time, right? Even though it was wood, I kept it just because it was helpful to get some greens. And so now that I kept it, I'm able to now get these greens off of here. And so you're always going to go through a little bit of a transition with the trees. And see now, see it's getting crowded. Down here, it might be getting really crowded. So another thing with the yellowing is that I'm noticing it's yellowing because the roots are not exposed, or that the mulch is too high up on the root. So what we want to do is we want to expose the root more. So that's the first thing I'm going to do when I see that this tree is really yellow. I'm going down and wanting to expose this area down here to give it more air. Because this is actually where the tree breathes a lot. You know, it happens. You know, I planted this system, these trees probably 2 years ago now. Now that they're getting big, they don't need to be as deep in the soil. So they can be more exposed. They've got deeper root systems. By exposing this root base, it's also helping it to push more further down. Oh, hopefully that's okay. Still going? Oh yeah. All right, let's keep going. We're still rocking. This should be giving you a good view here. I got the hat cam on today. Let's keep rocking it. Got a nice hat system here going on with the new phones. and really just getting into this groove, creating really good content for everybody here. See this? Boom. That's just kind of sucking. We're going to take anything off the middle. We're really going to be opening this tree up more. I already have like a good formation starting to form. These are just kind of coming into the aisle, so we're definitely going to take those off. We don't really want anything coming into the aisle. I want the trees to kind of spread a little bit more further wide and out. Once they can get taller, they do get taller, I of course will let them come into the aisle a little bit more as we can still walk through them. But ultimately, these trees here will not get too tall. I may end up letting these big trees go to seed maybe within the next year or so. See, I can cut that back. This I can pull off completely. I can also clean up these knobs just to kind of really clean up the tree. Pull that. Like these two are really close together, and this one's even just coming into that. I don't even know. I might even bring this one back, but the reason why that one's taller and cut back here is because it goes into the aisle a little bit. So you can see here, one of the things I can do is at least cut this one. That's going into the other one. I can cut this one. That's going into that one. This one, that's going straight up. And now, at least, these two are forming further apart. Then I can cut these two tops, popping tops. Then that will spread out really nicely. Just little suckers here, don't really need those. You can pull, like if there's two on it, I bring that usually back down to one. It's gonna make that one bigger. So let's pull, continue to pull. I really love this tree. This tree is so pretty. They all are. They're all my little babies. As we're getting up taller now, I'm starting to see where I might even want to bring this tree back a little bit, especially pop tops now at an angle. Try to get a really clean cut here and really thin some of these pieces out. I'm going to come back to this one and just keep showing you how I'm just coming through each one of the trees. You know, there might be now ant piles starting to form because sometimes I bring in plants from other areas, or tree trimming companies come and drop here, so they're bringing all kinds of stuff from other places. But best thing I can do is to create the most natural ecosystem for these moringa trees to keep them healthy and the ecosystem healthy, especially by not incorporating plastics into this system and really trying to follow the laws of nature. As much as this is a domesticated tree and we're using it for our system here, I still try to be as natural as I can, as conscious as I can with the trees and how they grow in their nature. Sounds like I got a little bit of a leak over there. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that drip line over here pretty soon. I still have sand in my well that gets pulled up, and so I've noticed that drip line ends up popping a lot of holes because the sand ends up puncturing it. This tree for now is really nice and open, and it's already starting to get really hot out here, so I don't want the phone to turn off like yesterday. I did the same thing yesterday for you, and then the phone ended up turning off because it got too hot on that other row. But that's why we're doing this again on this row, because I've got plenty of work to do and ideas and things to share with you. See, like this knob right here, we don't necessarily need to keep that nasty looking knob. We can actually clean that up. Boom, that looks a lot better. This is going into the row. This is going into the row. This is kind of going into the row too. But now, boom, she goes straight up here, and then I can pop tops and she'll split from there. This one, I'll keep that one, but see how there's like 3 on this one, but there's 2 smaller ones. So let's go ahead and take the 2 smaller ones, keep that one, keep that, This one's going into the middle. Take that. This one's going into the middle. And we're going to keep it moving. This one now is starting to get really tall on this side. This one here is starting to get some fresh greens on this side. So let's pull any of the greens off of here. Let these babies start to push out this way. Nice. Nice. This one is coming into the aisle, so I will take that. Thanks, Miss Moringa. Thank you so much for all of your abundance and love. These ones are really yellowing out. Okay, so if it's really yellow, then I want to assess down low. Make sure the root systems are exposed just like this. You want this area down here to be exposed. Don't really want to cover the trees up really high. Like for example, I pulled out some of the trees yesterday, like this one. I pulled this one out. This one was covered to here. I pulled it up. This one was covered all the way down there, so I pulled that up and also removed it. Same thing with this, just continuing to pull them up and out, especially the small little ones that got planted last summer, like this. The mulch is going to continue to break down here, and I can even move some of this. So that way we don't have much of a hole here, but this mulch is going to continue to break down, and this tree is going to continue to push up. Same thing with this one. This is the last row that I planted last summer, last fall. And so now I can expose a lot of these roots. All right. We're almost done with this row. Oh, look, I cut this tree back a couple weeks ago, about a month ago or so. And now she's coming back. So now I'm also just going to get any of the weeds away from the tree. That's really it. Just keep it away from the base. Who cares about all the other weeds and stuff? Just kind of block all that stuff out and just focus on directly around the tree. Every time you're coming to harvest, just pull little things around. Also, the next step for me is to put more ground covers in here, like Okinawan spinach and longevity spinach. That way it has a nice low ground cover and keeps some of these weeds at bay. Okay, so let's pull some of these trees out. That's going into the aisle. All right, so I was here. Keep opening and exposing these babies. Also popping tops. That's also going to help inspire her to come out with all new greens. She's going to drop all these yellows. I'm not even going to use these yellows anyways. So just pull them off and then help her inspire to grow all new tips. Boom, boom, thin that out. Boom, this one's coming in the middle. Thin that out. She's actually starting to get really tall here. This even starting to form some flowers up here. So we definitely want to cut this back where she's forming flowers, because we don't want flowers just yet on these young trees. If you keep the flowers, they're going to go to drumstick. Going to drumstick means that they're going to lose their leaves. There we go. And we don't want the trees right now to lose their leaves, because right now in our business, we're using the leaves a lot more than the drumstick. And as we have more growers to sign up and have more trees around town, they'll decide what they want, if they want drumstick or if they want leaf. And then we'll be able to have more options for customers. Boom. Just really pulling any kind of big weeds that are just really close to the core in the center of these root systems. Want to prevent any competition from continuing to take hold close by. And that way these trees have their own thing. This is nice. This tree may even just pop more down here. She's starting to kind of get really heavy on this side, which is cool, which means we can also bring this side back a little bit more to lighten her up. Let's do that. This is kind of coming into the aisle. This is just kind of wonky here. So just by getting that back and even just getting that back there will help to inspire her to split a little bit better on this side. pull any of these little pieces that are coming off. You can always clean up these knobs and pulling anything out of the middle, going low. And clusters right here, this is really just going to open her up. And she's saying, thanks. You're welcome. Okay, what do we want to do here? Maybe we'll just keep this one. That's kind of forming straight up from that. Split that. This one's kind of weird. I'll pull that one all the way off. Start popping these. I kind of like how this one's coming out this way, so I'll definitely bring this one that's just boom like that. And that one even just helps to push that out a little bit more. Eventually, if this starts splitting a little bit lower, like down here, even this whole entire center one may come out. But right now, she's going to produce a lot of greens off of this stem. And she's getting nice and wide. So I'll definitely thin this up, thin this one up, pop this one, pull this one all the way back because that one's just coming in the top, in the middle. Boom, and that really opened that up right there. And then pop top. Want to pop tops right now? That way she comes back down and forms a lot more bushiness down low. Beautiful. Pulling anything out of the middle, anything that's kind of wonky and turned. Come in the middle like that. Just to really get some more aeration. Almost done with this aisle. Hopefully everybody's enjoying. If you haven't yet, please like this video or subscribe to the Grow Moringa YouTube channel for even more of this beautiful Moringa content, so that way you can learn how to have your own Moringa farm and see all of the lessons that we share here every day. I'm just going through my day-to-day rituals with you so you can see exactly how to do this for yourself. I've already made over 7 figures from Moringa in my career and want to share with you how to do the same. This one's kind of weird. It's like if I pull it, see how easy that came off? So you don't even really want to keep anything that's kind of not solid and strong. Like this is coming into the middle. This one's just kind of coming out to the aisle. And then having this one here, vertical, take that off. That pushes this out a little bit more. This one, popping that top, pushes out even more. That's going to help push it out. This one in the middle here, pop this. That's going to push out. When I say middle, it's still kind of coming out. And another branch may form down here, which may even cut this one off even more and just push this out even more this way. Now, this is where the suckers are coming in. So they're going to start boom, boom, boom. Pull those little off and just keep like 2 or 3 off of each node. That's going to just make these even more robust. Wow, this one's already really nice. But I can tell that she's a little bit further down in there. Got lots of weeds down in here. Let's go ahead and get her exposed a little bit. Pull some of this out. Loosen up this soil that's around the base. And so I want to see that area right there where the roots are coming in. And that really helps to aerate. It keeps the trees from turning yellow, especially the rains are coming. All this is just prepping for rains. This one's kind of coming into the aisle. This one's coming into the aisle. Boom. This one's coming into the middle. This one's coming into the middle. Just little things like that. This one's kind of wonky, turning weird. This one's low. Boom. Now we've got a vortex, a vertice, cooling this center like a pyramid, like a toroidal field. Whew, whew. In here, the magnetic frequencies are helping to really push this tree big now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up here. Just wanted to get you some quick lessons. I'll finish up. You can see now from the back side, We planted a lovely orange tree here. Looks like some caterpillars or something got to it. And we're also planting avocado tree here, which I'll get watered. Got a mulberry back here, in this back aisle of the row of the farm is actually going to carry lots of big fruiting trees in the back. So that way we don't really disrupt the orchard. So we've got lots of stuff coming in for you. Stay tuned and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. And I will see you soon here on the flip side. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I really would love for you to come by if you need to grab fresh moringa. We've got moringa for people, pets, and plants. Peace and love.